Tomorrow, I'm going to be driving this car all the way to Belgium, so let's get started. So this is going to be slightly different from my usual videos, but I hope you enjoy it.
No! God, please, no!
Tomorrow, I'm going to be driving this car to Belgium, and there's a lot to do and prep. It's a journey of over 800 miles, so I'm going to be going through the Channel Tunnel and down the motorway. Okay, so it's nearly 4 o'clock in the morning, and we're going to leave soon. Let the journey begin. Now, it was in the middle of the night at 4:30 AM, and of course there wasn't much to film and I couldn't see anything, so I didn't bother for the GoPro for the first half of the morning. But once it got a bit brighter, I did put it on, and unfortunately we didn't even get time-lapse quite correct here, so do bear with me, it does come in a minute. Here we are going over the Dartford Bridge. I have never been over this bit, and we had to go all the way around the M25, and I'll show you a picture actually of what we actually drove from Manchester and the route we took. It was a pretty long journey, and as you can see now, the GoPro footage is in time-lapse, and this makes it way much cooler than it would be if I was just showing you basic boring footage. And so I am going to skip a lot of this because there is too much to show on this point, and we're really just trying to get to the Eurotunnel. Wow. But as you can see on the map, it is a long journey, and here is roughly what our route was. I also want to point out now that the GT86 was fantastic. It did faultless miles and can't really knock it at all. It was brilliant. Right, so we've just arrived at Maidstone Services, so let's move on to get some breakfast, and then yeah, another 30 minutes to the channel. Shouldn't be too much longer. Right, let's get to Dover. Now viewers, if you are here for the Eurotunnel experience, then this is where it starts. This is where you have to go through a little racetrack essentially to get to the duty free, which is absolutely fine because you actually have to wait for like half an hour, and I just skipped this bit, and at which point I came back and it was raining, which is a bit annoying. But again, it's quite a lot of confusion if you've never been before. It's a little racetrack. Again, we got some barriers and passport control and security. Having to skip this bit because it's just very long and boring and you wouldn't want to watch it. There was a seagull there. And then again, it's more racetrack if you like. It's very windy. I think it's just for backlog if you are driving there and it's a very busy day. And here's where we started the queue. And of course, it wasn't very long, skip that bit, and we were coming down onto the train, which I was looking forward to the most. And it was at this point that the guy told me to go on the bottom because I had a lowered car, and I was quite happy for that because I do worry about it. As you can see, you drive all the way to the end, which is very long, and you got to be careful of your tyres and wheels. Just a quick one for me, if you are enjoying this car content and you do like what you see here, I have so much more car content on my channel, and please do check it out here. Right, so, the car is on the train. Just filming it, so it's got the footage. This comes up pink on here. Maybe it's just the colour lighting. No, this is the view. Wow. So we arrived in Belgium and drove through France. I didn't record it because the GoPro is pretty low, but I just decided to record a little bit when I got to Belgium and Brugge, which was a lovely, stunning city. I would definitely recommend going if you haven't been before, but definitely worth driving as well because it's fairly cheap and affordable. So at this point, we were just trying to find the car park. If you go to Brugge, you can park in Interparking. Super cheap. We paid about €40 for 2.5 days, which is not bad at all. And here is the final part of the journey for arriving. We got to the car park and I had no idea how this worked. My girlfriend actually had to get the ticket because I was on the wrong side, obviously, and then we went in. It was a really safe and secure environment for my GT86 because I care about it a lot, and then if anyone has a modified car or a supercar, this is probably a good place to keep it, to be honest, because I would definitely go there again. Good affordable rates, like I said. Just trying to find a space. Initially was a bit worried because on the weekend it does get busy. Now, we arrived on a Thursday and I was able to find a nice little corner spot, as you can see in a minute, and was super happy with it. But do be careful on a weekend because this place was rammed when I came to check on the car, which I did once a day, so that was also a bit of an issue. But it's okay because there were some nice-ish cars down there. There's an Alpina on the right, as you can see, but you probably can't. And yeah, I just parked in the corner and nice and locked, so no one could touch it. And there we are, car is parked up and going to be left in underground for 2 days. So, we're here. Not GT86 or car related, but I thought I would just show a little bit of Bruges, which is pretty nice on a sunny day. It would be rude of me not to get any nice pictures of the car, so I decided to do that. And then we went into city centre, and we did spend a weekend there, so I didn't record the whole thing. And we, of course, went to the Fries Museum and the Chocolate Museum, so do check that out if you do go to Bruges. So here's the car in Bruges, and it's looking pretty good. I'm not sure if we should be parked there, but we are anyway, so I'm going to move in a minute. So here is me leaving Bruges. Unfortunately, it was time to go after a long weekend and had to drive through the city centre. Now, you'll notice in this video a lot of people were staring, and it is kind of typical for when you do drive a little bit of a different car in a foreign country, I suppose. But I enjoyed it, and, you know, everyone was quite nice about it. Here is a very minimal bit of the drive home, which I did. Of course, it's on the right-hand side, and my GT86 is right-hand drive, which is from the UK, so obviously driving in Europe is not an issue, but if you've never done it before, it is something to just maybe do a bit of practice if you can before you go on the road. Motorways generally are fine. This is the motorway now from Bruges to Calais, so it's about an hour or 60-ish miles, I think, something like that. For those interested, I was getting around 33 mpg on this trip in a GT86. So the journey back was an absolute nightmare because the traffic was a lot worse. As you can tell, a lot of UK cars were going back that day, but it was also like France, Netherlands. I had to get some shots of the car. Everyone was staring though, which was a bit weird. And after ages of waiting, we were finally allowed to board the train. It probably took around an hour, maybe two in waiting just to get on the train. And they also put me upstairs, which wasn't an issue because it gave me a bit of room to get my car on. But again, it was that long drive right to the end. So if you do this, just be aware that you'll have to drive right to the end because they do weight distribution and all that. There is nothing cooler than having your car on the Eurotunnel or on a train that goes underneath the sea to France. It was just so awesome, and I really enjoyed doing this. It was like a dream come true, so definitely recommend it. Total cost of this was about £150, but we split it between us. I think it was about 77 each. And we were put on the top for the final leg of the journey, so as you can see, this is the final bit and getting back into the UK and driving on the motorway, which was nice to be back in a weird way, so I didn't have to worry about the car as much for some strange reason. But now it is the return to Manchester. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do like the content, as always, don't forget to subscribe.